All right, part three of me revisiting all my characters, my created characters from Soul Calibur 6. Uh, now I'm seeing this row for the first time in a long time, and I'm like, oh, hey, here we go. These are some pretty like I know when I created this guy Apollo, like I was in love with like the aftermath. I didn't know where I was gonna go. I knew I wanted to create this character. I knew I wanted to make another regal looking character, kind of like dark elf regal looking character. And, I did it. And he looks so cool, menacing. It kind of has the same actually, I wonder if I intentionally made him to be like opposing to what my dark elf character, I forgot what his name was. Uh but once again, he's not really a character that has lore attached to him. Look at that. Look at the little like gold frost I gave the top of this armor, right? Like that's the armor doesn't come like that. Like I added that shit. I believe I added that shit. Let me see. It's just let me not try to take credit for stuff that I didn't do. Uh, armor. See, look at that. Like I put that stripe, those stripes there to add a little bit of like a little bit of it's hardly even noticeable from a distance, but it gives it that little golden sheen up at the top there. You know, it's it's thinking very deeply about certain aspects of creating characters and stuff. Uh, like the little checkered pattern inside his shirt, like up on the upper slope of it, like it doesn't come like that, but it gives it a little bit more flair. And this is what I was talking about. If in the last part you've seen the last part, just how sometimes just wearing clothes has like a little bit of different shades, just because of the nature of clothes, like these little silver spots and the way brown looks in the different parts of the person. As you can see, like all these little browns are kind of like the same and stuff. Like they're the same, exact same like color. Oops, exact same color. 1064, 1064, 1064. Like that's intentional. I did that. I went in and we used to do this all the time. My brother was freaking, you know, memorize the number so we can put the exact color. We don't just try to get it close to it to where we visually see it looking like it's close to the same color. We go to exact match, Uh, and this one, I mean, obviously this one's not the same color, but that's intentional, you know. Uh, and just to kind of, even though like all of these are different colors, they kind of still have a little bit of a different look when you put them on different like textures and different, not textures, but different materials and stuff. You know, they end up looking a little darker shades or higher shades and stuff. And you got to be willing to just like allow that to be the case, because I could go to the armors and try to make them exactly to match the color, but they are technically the same color. But because they're on different materials, they look different. And you let that be, because now it gives it a more natural look and it looks clean. He's got the little yellow in there. He's got the gold in there. I don't know. I really fuck with the character. I really like his picture more. I was making these fools look like models in their pictures, which is not easy to do, because the reality is this is what you're doing when you're taking those pictures. You're choosing a one of these little motions and you're trying to find the perfect little spot to take the picture, to get that good little pose you got going there. It's like, look, this is the pose. This is the thing I chose for him. So I had to freaking get the camera like angled up and shit, and find the perfect spot, and then snap the picture at the right time. Wait. There's a button to take the picture. I think it's uh Part 3, yeah. So, if you want to take the perfect spot and find the perfect spot to get him in, you can also hold speed very slow. Now look at him, he's moving really, really, really slow, doing out the animation really, really slow. So you can really try to wait to that perfect moment to get to like perfect picture and stuff like that. Well, whatever. It's like I've done it already, so I ain't gonna try to recreate it like that perfectly. But look at him. This is perfect. Look at all these model poses, bro. They look like regular ass characters. It's like now this is the third character from the story I wrote. Now this character does not look like this at all. Not even a little bit. Uh, Not even to like a degree where I don't know what the heck I did with this character because I think even when I originally uh wrote the kind of description for what this character looked like, uh, it was not like this. And I don't know why when I created him here, I made him look like this. I honestly don't know, but obviously I was like, he's not my favorite design that I made from those characters from my story, and it's kind of whack, pretty whack, pretty whack. The character does not look like this. Maybe at most the character looks like because you see how he has like the kind of uh, pale face and like the kind of dark like spots under his eyes. That's probably the most accurate part of him looking like the character that I made in the story. But nice pose though. Moving on, I didn't show his fighting style, but it's like I think it's bow staff. Yeah, he looks cool. I don't think he looks bad. I think he looks cool. Just doesn't look like the character that is in my story. Next we have Reverie. Now I loved how this character came out. I don't know what the heck I was on when I made this character. I was just like, there was something about like this orange and black with this shade of green that kind of just possessed me, and I was just like, yeah, this is what I want. And I made this little witchy girl character, and like, I don't know, man. I love how it looks. And then me go with the like orange and black again, you know. But this is like orange, black, and green. That's very Halloween. But I think the shade of green that this is, uh, which is a very like appealing shade of green, I think. Like it kind of stops it from being too Halloween. But I think I have character that I've like if I ever go over my wrestling characters, you're gonna see that uh, there are characters in there that also have this a similar orange and black motif. I don't know why I do it. I was born in October. My birthday is 2 days before Halloween, so maybe that has to do with it. But I think I was thinking Halloween when I was making this character. I just didn't want to go super like she's a witch. Like I didn't want to go super bright green because I think that I thought it looked dopey, and so I ended up making this green instead. And I think when I reached this green, I kind of just went a whole new kind of like this. The character really started to develop in my mind after that. That's cool. Yeah, she's cool. Never made her in any other game either. That's okay. Hey, not everybody gets to be in other games. I have new ideas in different games. This character I made specifically to be a like inspired by like a Tide Pod. uh, oh, it's funny, but it's like sometimes you just pull stuff from different things. It's not Tide Pod. I mean, it's more like what's it called? Trident. Is that the name of the gum? It's funny. I was just talking about this with my brother last night, making fun of making fun of the previous Fire Emblem game that came out because, as a huge Fire Emblem fan, I just don't play them anymore because I Awakening, not Awakening, Three Houses really kind of annoyed me. Uh, and after that, the game that came out afterward, I just didn't like the whole uh, concept of like, let's use the past characters and like the gimmicky protagonists. I don't like gimmick protagonists. The silent, uh, special protagonist from Three Houses, who was like the main teacher, but she didn't have no lines of dialogue. I know why they cut the dialogue. I know the history behind it, but I don't care. It's not really an excuse. It kind of made the character a bit boring for me. And I always talked about how it was so weird hearing her talk in Smash Bros. Because, well, I chose the girl, female version of the character, so I say she, but hearing her talk in Smash Bros, which she doesn't even talk in the game, is like it's weird. It's like this character has a voice here, but she was straight up silent the entire time. But yeah, I like this character, big statue lady. The hardest part of this was this little thing here. You see how it's not directly in the center? You can't get it in directly in the center. And that's two different like little like the floating ring back there, the item that you could just place and have them float, and the two balls that are in her ear, like you could put stickers on characters similarly and put them wherever you want to. And this thing refused to go directly down the middle, but it doesn't matter. It's like that's not something you can see when you're playing the game. It's not something you notice. You can notice it now, probably because I told you about it. But yeah, big strong. Now, funny, I noticed I've used these like little leg pieces a lot. Believe it or not, there's not that many like armor and stuff in this game. You're very limited in what you can use, and sometimes some stuff is too dopey to use, so you just gotta stick with certain things. Uh, some items you look at, you're like, I have to develop a specific character with this. Now, this little belt that she has this hammer thing, and I think it's this hammer thing is so great. I don't know if I realized it was there when I originally made it. I mean, I know when I made it, I know, like, I'm not just realizing the hammer's there now, is what I'm trying to say. But when I was making it for her, I didn't realize the hammer was there when I put the belt on her. Noticed it later. I was like, this is a very unique looking thing. No other item in this game really looks like that, where it just has an item. And you can see how, like, it's underneath the belt, right? It's a very like unique looking thing for a game where you'll take something like that, like, oh, you'll take the like this floating ring, you'll take a floating hammer and you'll put it on them like that in order to like recreate a special character from whatever anime you've seen or some shit. And you're like, oh yeah, they have a hammer in their back, so you would just attach it to their back. But nothing in this game has a look where it's like it belongs like that. Like it's underneath the belt. And it's not something that you had to put under there like that. It's just interesting. You had to be there, meaning you had to play the game. I like her little Colgate. Maybe that's what it is. Not Trident, Colgate. Trident isn't gum, isn't it? Colgate look. I think she looks pretty good, all things considered. I think it's well executed. Uh yeah, cool character. Well, I was gonna say I have ironically have made a character without really intentionally doing it, make characters that look similar to her. My pawn in Dragon's Dogma 2 is, yeah, I'm looking at her now and I'm like, dude, this is my pawn from Dragon's Dogma 2. Like, this is her. I intentionally made her look like the pawn from Dragon's Dogma 2, be a big, strong, like, looking like stone type of character. That was what I originally, like, it was very hard to get her to be as, like, much as stone as I could, because the game would like limit that. How like making her like super pale and marbly and stuff. Uh, but this is her. Like this is basically her. I mean, she doesn't look exact like this. The one I made is kind of a little bit different, inspired differently. But honestly, like even with her having the red part around her eye, like I put the other one in my Dragon's Dogma game. I have it so where my character has one eye closed and my pawn has the other eye closed. But I'm like I made my character look like they're turning into gold, like they got touched by King Midas and they're turning into gold. And uh similarly, when I realized I couldn't make her like my pawn the like straight up stone, I did. Instead, I made her look like she was turning to stone, and her other eye. I think she has her other eye that's opposite of mine closed, but the one of my eye that is closed, I think is in the gold that is like half on my face, and her eye her that's closed is oh actually yeah no I think yeah her eye that's wait I'm trying to remember I can't remember now. I think her eye that's closed has like blood coming from it or something. It's just the same. It's just like it's creepy how similar this character that I made in 2018 is to the character I made in or 2019 is similar to the character I made in Dragon's Dogma 2 a couple of years ago, where that game came out in 2004 last year or 2023, and like didn't even think about it. Wasn't even thinking about this Kennedy character that I made. Next, we have Horus here. Oddly enough, this guy does have a name of a character in my story that I'm talking about, but this is not him. This has zero to do with that character at all. Not even like he's meant to be a version of him. I just gave him the name Horus. I just like the name Horus. My uncle's name is Horus. Horus is like Egyptian god and shit. So it's like I he might not be an Egyptian god. He might be like some kind of like prophet or some kind of messiah figure. Maybe I don't know exactly, but Horus is a cool name, and I think this character has a fucking cool look. Uh, just this salmon color, you know, giving him the salmon and black, giving him the very lordly look, looking like a kind of rogue uh, bandit leader or something like that, or like some kind of intense king. I just like it. It looks good. This is one of those. This is one of those instances where you find a headpiece and you're like, "Let me make this cool. I gotta find a way to make this cool." Not that it wasn't cool to begin with, but you're just like, "I gotta," like, like I was saying before, like certain things that characters have or certain armor pieces. You're like, "Okay, I have it, but now I have to make a very specific character with it." You know, and look, I did it. Like, look, he has like this whole black face thing, like the black part of his head that's at the top. Like, I put a sticker over it to make it like a one color and black and stuff like that, while having the bottom of it be pink and matching up with the this piece here. Like, that shit's that shit's like I'm playing like 4D chess with these created characters. The headpiece on top of that, like that's one of the floating pieces, the random items that you could just place. I placed that there, and I think I even placed the thing on top of that one, like the thing that's right above it, because that's like, oh no, I guess I didn't. But where the heck did that piece come from? I don't know where that piece came from. Uh, because it says none here, so you can only do three. But where's that piece? Oh, it's a part of it. Okay, yeah, it's a default part of it. But yeah, just giving it that extra samurai looking flair to it, very good. Giving the samurai shoulder pieces. I think he's a freaking cool ass character. You can't tell me otherwise, honestly, because I want to listen to you. All right, I don't know who's next. Let's see what the next row has for. Oh, okay, yeah, okay, here we go. We got Fabian Lancaster. I think that's his last name. Yeah, Fabian is from Dropout. I don't know if you guys know Dimension 20. Uh, then what was it called? Shit, why can't I remember? Fantasy High, the very first season of Dropout, Dimensions, not well, basically the first season of Dropout too, but first year of Dropout or first couple of years of Dropout. Dimension 20 first season. Fabian, I recreated him. Uh, you guys can't really tell me nothing about this character. You can't really say anything about him. He looks like the character played by Lou Wilson. And I used to have an Instagram where I upload just like gaming stuff, but Instagram changed and stuff, so it started to become not even worth bothering. But I did upload this character and say, and I tagged Lou Wilson in it, and he commented on it. He liked it and commented on it, and he said Unreal. And I was like, oh, snap. So I got the seal of approval. Like this is his character. You know, he probably didn't design exactly how the character looked. He came up with the, vocalization of what the character looked like, and then the art department obviously brought him to life. But like, yeah, and I created this character based off of that. And Lou Wilson saw it and he commented and liked it. So I'm like, yo, that's what's up, bro. That's my mission's done. Very simple. But he's just like a high school jock kid who has a rapier, and that's it. That's it. It is what it is. If you don't believe me, you can check out my Instagram, my gaming Instagram, where I used to post shit. I don't post shit on there anymore. Wind Realm Gaming, with underscores in between each word, and you could see it. It's there. You could see Lou Wilson commented on it. So call me a liar if you want to, but it's the truth. All right, on to the next one. Now, this character, Ororosha, I really wanted to go in as far as like making her, uh, like I liked the vibe I got when I made the Soleil character from Fire Emblem, which was in the last part. Uh, and I wanted to make a character of my own that had that kind of similar vibe. I like that pale pink color, and I was like, she doesn't have that vibe, but I want to create a character with the pale pink of like the hair and like the gold kind of shit going on. I like the colors that were going on in that. So I was like, let me come up with a character, and this is what I came up with. It was very like, and like also just once again this armor piece of like, remember how I was talking about the hammer thing? This is another one of those things where it's like this robe that's over the shoulder like that, very uniquely designed. Uh, that's not something that too many of these armors and looks have. But it gives a kind of more natural life to created characters. When when the thought of like creating characters comes in between whether or not they feel like the real characters or if they feel like created characters. You're always trying to fight the feeling of making your characters looking like created characters, right? You want them to feel alive. You want them to feel like they have their own personality and they are their own people, and they could just as easily be real characters. I've always loved these little armor boots here. I don't know. There's something about these armor boot heels and the kind of uh curved like front that they have. It's not pointed. I feel it's very fashionable and very soft. It feels very feminine, even though like heels are feminine in general. But it's like there's just something like very graceful about it, you know. Uh, and they go into like the full like thigh high boot armor. It's pretty it's pretty cute. Somebody really cooked with that armor piece. Uh, yeah, this character. I was really like satisfied with her. Very princess like. I think you know what? I think I made her to kind of be like what's his face's daughter, the dark elf from the first part. Uh, but I can't fully remember. But she's like a high elf. Pretty, pretty awesome. Megan fighting style. Is that what that lady's name is? Amy. Yeah, pretty freaking awesome. I like her. I really enjoyed this character. Oh snap! Oh snap! We're coming. Wait, how many? Oh, we're at the freaking end of this shit. All right, that was pretty quick. Uh, so here we go. This is the next person. Shell. Just a blue guy, a blue ninja with a blue shell on his back, and I called him Shell. Just he got nunchucks. I don't know why. I just wanted to make a blue ninja with a shell on his black back and called him Shell. He's got nunchucks. You know, like freaking Ninja Turtle, Michelangelo, but Leonardo. Yeah. uh, nope. This didn't take long. Didn't take long at all. Just a simple character. I think just for a simple character, he has personality. I think he looks cool. I think somebody could have fun playing with him, like or coming up with lore for him, or just he's. I think he's all right. Now, this next character is the one I've been talking about, Queen Alice. Who I'm not gonna do her. I'm gonna do her last because she's my favorite. Next, we got Yuna. Okay, so Yuna, I didn't make Yuna. My brother made Yuna. And oh, actually, my brother did not make Yuna. My brother's ex-girlfriend made Yuna. We kind of like had her create a character, and we were just kind of like watching over her shoulder as she was making her. And we're like, "Yo, go make your character." And she made her, and like, yeah, it's pretty good. We were kind of like using our expertise, like I said, looking over her shoulder, being like, "Yeah, do this." We wanted her to choose stuff, but we were just kind of like guardrails to protect her from, doing stupid shit, uh, which she didn't. Uh, but this was her character. This character didn't have much life in the game because around the time we made her, like we weren't playing this really that often anymore. Which one she made? 2021. You see, so that was like this is post COVID times, 3 years ago, 4 years ago. Uh, so this was us breaking in the game again. And this was like, yeah, I even heard 2021. This was like me wanting to play the game, Queen Alice. We'll get to her in a second. This was the last character I made. Now, this Queen Alice character, like this character right here, was an unfinished character, a character I started. This character was supposed to be me doing the magnificence that I did with Queen Alice again. But let me talk about Queen Alice before I even get to her. But this character, now this character is meant to be like a as close as I can get attempt of making a Pink Ranger, the Pink Ranger from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Now, obviously, this is not the Pink Ranger from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, so she kind of had to turn into being like her own thing. Uh, but as you can see, like just even with like the silver lips, the pink and white look, like even if you look at the thing, look at the star on her face. That's a star sticker, but the star meaning like if you look at the old Pink Power Ranger, the original Pink Power Rangers helmet, how it has this kind of look. Unlike the rest of the Power Rangers in the group, she has this kind of like white and pink like pattern design on her helmet that it's like a kind of point and has like these white spots on her helmet. A center where you got the white triangles. You see like you could see the attempts of what I was trying to do uh, in recreating this Pink Ranger. But somewhere along the line, I was like that. It can't be done. It cannot be done in the way I want it to be done. And so let me just kind of make her into my own thing. So this is like SOULCALIBUR Pink Ranger, which it has like this little these like little weird antennas and stuff. But the ears that are sticking out on the side. It's like it was an attempt to try to put more texture into this design, into this character, to make up for the stuff that I couldn't do. Overall, I think she's pretty cool. Uh, she definitely has a look to her and a vibe to her. I like the freaking shiny pants so much. I like her. I like the glossiness of the character. But this character was made because when, if you listen to part one, when I talked about how me and my brother used to go and play like fashion critics on other people's created characters, there was a yellow Power Ranger that somebody made that was so freaking cool. Like I was like, that's awesome. That like we would grade them like A B C D E F, no E's, but uh based off of how well they did, if how well something was executed and how much they tried or whatever. But like that Yellow Ranger was so freaking cool. I was like, I gotta try it. And my biggest thing was I tried to download that character, but I was missing an asset. I was missing an asset. Like that was like DLC, and I couldn't download the character. And I got what I thought was all the DLC specifically so I could try to download this character. I was like, I want to download this person's Power Ranger, but I can't. I missed something. I don't know what the hell I was missing. I was like, I got everything. Uh, but and it was kind of a desperate thing because you know a character is only uploaded for as long as uh, the player who uploaded it keeps them uploaded. The moment you decide to upload a different character, the character that was previously uploaded is gone. Like this one, you see the little Earth uh, with the kind of orbits around the Earth. That means that's the character that you have uploaded to the created characters for everybody to be able to see and to download if they want to. The moment I switch it to somebody else, oh my god, I didn't even do this guy. I skipped him. The moment you do that to somebody else, you hit share over network, then all of a sudden this guy's no longer available, and whoever you uploaded then. So it was like kind of a time crunch. It's like I want to get this thing, I can't get it though. Uh, Let me go over him before I get to Queen Alice. Uh, Dynamo Royce. I Here we go again with like the kind of very saturated color of the green, but balanced with a muted burgundy. Like these are like my favorite colors, like a burgundy and a green. Any kind of shade of green I can love. I can love any shade of green. It doesn't really matter. Uh, Olive green, neon green, yellow green, dark green, forest green, the green that I put on Reverie. Like obviously I lean more towards certain green than others, but I don't care. Like I'll be happy with any kind of green. But yeah, this guy was like a little like I wanted to make him look like a kind of uh stereotypical like upbeat protagonist. But he also kind of has like the cool side character leader who kind of helps the protagonist realize his true potential. He's always like cool and laid back. Uh like the guy from Gurian's Login, which is it Gurian's Login? I think that's the name of that with the big robot mech. I never watched all that show. I know people really like it, but around the time when I was like starting to watch, not even starting, but just like watched anime, that one just wasn't one that ever hit me. Like, the shonen stuff, Naruto, One Piece, and other stuff, Death Note, like all that stuff it hit me like I never even watched Bleach, but it was limited. You couldn't really get everything, right? There wasn't like streaming platforms back then like that. You would just have to find stuff online if you could, and do it that way, or watch it on TV if you could. And that was watching it out of order. You just watch whatever they showed. So around those times when I was trying to keep up with One Piece or keep up with Naruto, because they would get shown over and over again on freaking Cartoon Network, where you could start from the beginning and actually keep up with it. Like those certain anime, I just didn't watch. I couldn't. It just never occurred to me to watch them, and it wasn't even in time on the internet where people were like, dude, you never see this. I never watched Hunter x Hunter, even though I told my sister about it and made her watch it. I didn't make her watch it, but she just asked me for an anime recommendation. I was like, I hear Hunter x Hunter's good. And now she wants me to watch Hunter x Hunter. I'm like, ah, you know, uh, it's because like at some point you kind of outgrow certain things. Like it's old animation, and I know that doesn't make it not good, but there's certain things in anime and stuff that's like anime tropes that used to go back then compared to anime tropes now are just different. The vibes, the atmosphere has shifted, and so like there's some more elements to like I guess the fun goofiness of certain anime, which I appreciate, but at the same time, it's like watching stuff for like history's sake, for like the sake of like, oh, you gotta watch this is one of the most renowned shit. When you personally have not actually found any real reason to watch it, and on top of it, it's old, and on top of it, you're not even like watching it from like a good source, uh, you know, and you're watching it, and then it's like the pilot episode is like a little bit more silly, a little bit more slower, a little bit less like grounded. And I don't mean that it has to be grounded in the sense that it's you know, oh, deep and edgy and like freaking Attack on Titan, which I fucking love Attack on Titan, but like in or I don't mind goofy stuff. It's just like the silliness in when a manga starts or when anime starts based off of manga, you know, sometimes the author or the writer doesn't fully know what they're doing. I'm not saying they don't know what they're doing. I mean, they don't know what their story is yet. They're writing a bunch of silly characters that they probably came up with when they were like in high school or something, and they're finally like just doing it. And then as they do it, as they make those characters, the characters develop and they turn them into something, and it becomes legendary when it becomes legendary. But you know, I wrote comics in middle school too. I have stories that started off as one thing and evolved over time and started taking it more seriously, and it became you kind of flesh out the world. And sometimes you try to watch some old stuff like that and you're like, yeah, I don't really have time for this story to take shape. And so you put it on the back burner. Like it's not gripping you from the beginning. And me as an older person, it's like it's harder to really get my mind into it. How much seconds we got on the clock? How much time we got on the clock? Oh shit, we're at 37. Uh, okay. Uh, I'm going to end this, and then I'll do Queen Alice in her own video.